Yo, it's your boy Matrix back with another crazy episode of Customer Service with a customer that's not always right. Today, our special guest is Miss Dawn. Yes, she is the Eagles diva. Y'all know I always get my Eagles fans on here first. Okay, we have to celebrate that ass whooping we put on the Chiefs. There would be no three-peat. If anybody's watching this that is offended, go play in traffic. I don't care. Okay, I'm gonna let Miss Dawn take it away. She has told me about several different trades, hats she's wore, different jobs she's had. And she's going to share with us some of the craziest customers that she's ever had. And I've already heard some of these stories, and damn. But I'm going to let Ms. Dawn take it away. You got it.
All right. Thank you, Matrix. Again, I'm happy to be here. Nice to meet you. A little bit about myself. I've got about 30 years in customer service. I've worked in different fields as far as restaurant business. I've even been in leasing. I've got some real crazy stories about customer service and leasing because, you know, they're your customers. Yeah. But I want to say most of the stories that I would probably have to share are more, there's a couple funny ones, but more of them are just outrageous.
Well, we would love to hear.
Just because, you know, you remember the things that when people get irate, right? You remember those bad experiences more.
Yeah, they stick with you.
They do stick with you, but I want to start out with the Banana Man, though, because that's a funny one. It's a good one. I was probably in my early 20s. The banana has a double meaning in this story, so you can use your imagination on that one, right? So I was probably in my early 20s. I was working in this little deli corner store type place. And I'm in the back. I can't see anything because I'm short, right? So I hear all this commotion. The lady who's running the store is flipping out. This man apparently comes in. He wants a banana. He doesn't have any money. So, of course, she doesn't give him the banana, okay? What does he do? He drops his pants. He drops his underwear. And he stands there with the banana in his hand and his banana hanging out for everybody to see just to get a banana. So needless to say, yeah, who does that? He had to be on something. He had to. I mean, normal people don't act like this.
Yeah.
They don't. They don't.
He brought out his banana just to get a banana.
He brought out his banana to get a banana. And guess what? He got his banana. We got him out the door. Yeah.
He meant business when he came in there. He understood this time. I'm doing whatever I need to do to get this banana.
Yeah, just take it and go, right? Yeah. But I have to say probably the wildest night ever, and I'm talking in 30 years now, the wildest night in my career, Waffle House. Whew. I don't know, you know, what your audience's experience is with Waffle House because it's mainly a Southern company.
I was going to tell you, no one has told a Waffle House story yet. No one.
Okay.
I've only heard crazy Waffle House stories on the internet, so you're the first.
Okay. Well, I was born and raised up here. I'm from South Jersey, but I lived in the South for about 16 years before I moved back. Okay. So I found myself back in 2010 in management training with Waffle House. It was probably the scariest and the most exhilarating thing I ever lived through. So here I am. When you're in manager training, it's about 45 days. And I'm going to tell you, it's like boot camp. I broke over scrambled eggs, but that's another story. They send you to different stores throughout the district and you'd work different shifts. You know, they break you in hard. You in hard. So they send me to this store and it was a pretty, I want to say it was a rough neighborhood. Okay. It was a rough neighborhood. So on Friday and Saturday nights, when all the bars close, that whole bar will come to your Waffle House. You'll go from empty. Oh yeah. You'll go from empty to full and you better have a doorman. You have to have security. Yeah.
Security at a Waffle House. That's bad.
Yeah. Well, Waffle Houses are all very small for a reason. You only seat maybe 45 people. So once you get that many people in there, somebody's got to be at the door. One in, one out. One in, one out. That's it. So anyway, I'm at the grill now. When you're the manager, you're also the grill operator. So you're cooking, you're feeding everybody, you're running the crew, you're doing it all, and you're out in the open, right? It's an open kitchen, everybody can see you. So I'm standing there and I'm watching this stream just come walking in, and it's loud. It's basically the bar just dropped in Waffle House. It's loud. These people are yelling, screaming, taking up tables. I got a man. Do I need to watch my language?
No, ma'am. You can go. You go. You got it.
Okay. I got a man in the middle of my restaurant going, fuck Waffle House. Fuck, over and over again. And I'm standing there, jaw drop, right? What do? I see over in the corner, I got a couple over here snorting lines of, I don't know what, off the table. They're drinking. When I tell you, the bar
just happened.
You need to go to a Waffle House. Please do me a favor at some point in your life. Take you a road trip. Go past. I think you need to hit Virginia and just go experience Waffle House after midnight. That's all I got to say. That could be a whole nother podcast.
If I go, I'm taking the Ghostbusters with me. Do you understand?
You might need to. So anyway, all this is commotion's going on, right? And then you got the ladies over here playing music on the jukebox. They're just minding their business, dancing. It's crazy. So here I am, panicking, manager training now. I'm in charge of everything. This is my show. I got to do something. Here's my decision. Okay. Do I hightail it out of here, or do I just put my head down, feed these hungry people, and get them the hell out of here? Proud to say I chose option number 2. I did. I chose option number 2. But that was probably the craziest night I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah, that sounds
wild. In food service. Okay? In food service.
I'd either ducked under the table or left.
Oh. Waffle House.
I'd have been like, give him a jacket. I'm out. Give him a coat.
And even just for laughs, because I have a good sense of humor about myself, I've actually been drunk in Waffle House after hours with one shoe on. One shoe. Left one back in the parking lot at the bar. It's just the place you go and have food drunk.
Okay. So you understand. Okay.
I understand. I've been on both sides of the counter, literally. Literally. We all have, right? We all have. And that's what blows my mind sometimes when people get crazy. Like, come on. There's no reason for that. But I have one more story for you. And this is not necessarily customer service, but it's related. Okay. I have worked at a place, and I'm not going to put them on blast because I still work somewhere, but it's not them. I don't want everybody to think it's them. It's called the Not It game. And this is how we deal with customers who give us shit. When we see you coming, the first one on staff that says, not it, gets to hide and not wait on your rude ass. That's the best game we play. Yes, sir. Yes, we do. I mean, come on. We've all seen Clerks, right? Or no, what is it? Waiting? Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The Not It game. We even have a cushion we throw down if we have to kneel on it. We have cubbies we climb into. Yes, if you have made yourself that much of a pain in the ass, I'll tell you one guy we used to do it for. He would come in the store and you have to order at the counter and then sit down, we'll serve you. He was so impatient. If there was anybody else in line, he would go sit at a table and call a takeout order. So when he came in, that was like permanent, not it. You just permanent. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, doesn't that take balls?
Yeah, I'm going to go over there and call.
Yeah, he'd go sit at the table and he would call and say he wanted a takeout order because he didn't want to wait in line to place his order there at the counter. He wanted to jump everybody else. Yes.
Talk about asshole. Okay.
Yeah, he was a real jerk. He was a real jerk. Yeah, we deal with quite a few of those. Mm-hmm.
I am going to attempt to make it my business to get to a Waffle House, but it will not be at 2 o'clock in the morning. It will be at best 6 o'clock in the evening. I am not going to 2 o'clock in the morning. All the stories I've ever heard on the internet are always crazy, and they always happen at night. Again,
Waffle House.
I'm cool with hearing them, but I do not want to experience them. I'm okay with listening. Matter of fact, you know what I'll do? I'll pull up at 2 o'clock in the morning and just sit in my car with some food somewhere
and watch. It's all windows. It's all windows. You can see everything inside. Oh, we used to have pickle races at Waffle House too.
Explain that.
When you don't have any customers and you're working that third shift, that's from 10 at night to 7 in the morning. It gets long. You got to do something. So you get your little pickle chips that they put on the burger, and everybody throws one on the window, and you wait for them to slide. And you have pickle races. Yeah.
You throw them on the window and just watch them slide down the window.
Just watch them slide and see who wins, who hits the bottom first. Yeah.
So do it have to slide over there, or what if it falls off the window?
If it falls off, you're disqualified. Your pickle needs to stay on until it hits the bottom. Yeah.
Now, is that just with pickle juice, or you put something on it to make it stick like ketchup or something?
No.
Just
no
pickle
ketchup.
Juice.
Just pickle juice. Bam.
They got to slide down.
Your windows better be clean.
I was going to say, who had to clean the window?
Windows better be clean.
Who cleaned the window after that?
Well, we would all clean them. It was fun.
Okay.
It was fun, you know.
I thought maybe the loser had to clean.
But I will say this, just Waffle House is not all bad. They actually never close. Ever.
24 hours, I never knew that.
24/7. Back in, I think it was early 2010, we had an ice storm and I had to go to work. We had no electricity. I had to make change out of the safe. And afterwards, when the register opened, figure everything out. That was the only day I ever made a pancake at Waffle House because the irons didn't work, but I had a gas grill. I had to go in and feed people. The whole town was closed. Yeah, they do that.
So everybody was coming there to eat.
Everybody was coming there because there was nothing else in town. Yeah. My kids were actually home almost setting the house on fire. They had no electric. My son tried to light a fire and forgot to open the flue, but they were okay. They were okay. Good. They were fine. But yeah, it's been and in the apartment industry, I mean, I've had some crazy stuff there too. I mean, I had a guy who used to see bugs come out of his ceiling and he tried to hit me with a baseball bat. I had to lock myself in the office. Yeah, he was sick. He was mentally ill. Okay. I can't remember her name, and gosh, I wish I could because she was a wrestler for Ohio Valley Wrestling. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's like a semi-pro wrestling up in Kentucky, Ohio area. She threatened me. She was going to beat my ass. But I told her if she crossed the desk, that was it. I wasn't a manager no more. So she didn't do that. Okay. Dead bodies. Found dead bodies in yes, sir. More than once. Yes, sir.
In an apartment?
So, yes. People die at home all the time. Who finds them? We do.
Hey, you late on your rent. We gonna put you out. You better open the door. You just open the door. They just.
Yeah. Yes.
When you don't do that, you don't think about that. You have older people. Why doesn't it have to be older people? Just someone could fall. Someone have a heart attack.
Yeah. I've spent hours with a woman who had a stroke until we got her, got her taken care of. Yeah. That's above and beyond. But
have you ever had a fight with someone y'all were evicting? Someone that y'all would have to have.
Oh.
I know you had to have one. Give it to me. I need that.
I'll tell you about one. I lived in Louisville, Kentucky for a while, and I managed about 200 different properties in Old Louisville. These were, I don't know if you've ever been there, but Old Louisville is like a sister city to New Orleans. Beautiful mansions that were converted into apartments. I had tons of them. Okay. I had, I got to tell you about the dude who shit in our office. I've had elevator poopers, elevator peers. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. So anyway, I had all these properties and we were doing a set out, it's called. So if we evict you, we give you lots of notice. We go to court. We win the eviction. You get 7 more days to pay me or I'm calling the sheriff. Well, when I get to the point to where I have to call the sheriff and we come to literally set your property out on the street, it's sad, but it's part of it. We do it ourselves. It's me. It's my assistant manager. It's my maintenance guy. We're up there. We're picking up anything of value. We're packing it up for you. Okay. And we're in there. And all of a sudden I picked up a backpack and there was a jar of liquid in it. And I'm like, what is this? So I showed it to my partner and he's like, we need to call the police right now. They brought the hazmat team in. Apparently I was holding a mobile meth lab. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And yeah, and before we knew, go ahead. Yeah, I could have blew up.
You got a meth lab in your apartment and you can't pay the rent?
Well, maybe they were doing the product. Or maybe they weren't.
Never get high on your own supply.
Yeah. But we've had people that when you get set out, you also get what they call as trespass. You can't come back. You're not allowed on the property. That's between you and the property if you decide to pay your balance and they want to let you back. But in the meantime, you're not allowed. We've had people who've been evicted from apartment A and walked right across the hall to apartment B, and there was not a damn thing I could do about it. Yeah, you can do that. You got to start the process all over again.
But I mean, like, all right, so if it's the same apartment complex, right?
Complex.
How do you get evicted from here and just walk? They applied or they just moved in?
It's unit specific. I evicted you from unit A.
Right.
Not 5600 Levon Road. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
what I'm saying is, like, do they apply or they just go and just...
No, they just walk over there and then they just stay. And then that puts us in the position where now we have to send lease violations to the occupant and start an eviction process on them if they won't get you out. What's that? Yeah, they're basically squatters. Yeah.
Son of a...
Yeah. I've had dealt with lots of squatters.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If you don't keep your hall doors locked, again, I'll come back to the poopers. You get people who come in and need a bathroom, can't find one. They'll shit in your elevator. They'll shit in your hallway, your stairwells.
Go to a damn park or a restaurant. You just go shit in the elevator.
And then I have to have it cleaned up. My poor guys have to clean it up. We've cleaned brains too.
What type of animal just gonna go shit in the elevator? what you gonna wipe your ass with? What's wrong with you?
I solved a murder in Louisville.
Okay, detective. Murder she wrote.
Yeah. It was my main property. It was where my office was, and we had cameras, of course. It was really shady there. I mean, it was scary. It was scary. And the police came in and they gave me a time frame, and I looked at this and I saw a guy he came in and parked in our lot, walked over to where a little corner store was where someone had been shot. And then a few minutes later, he came running back and got in the car. So I turned it over to the police, and he happened to be the guy. Yeah, he was the guy. Had drug raids on my property. When I tell you I managed rough properties, I've managed properties in areas where I've had to have someone go with me and ask for my permission to enter the street so I can do my business. Yeah. It's insane. It's insane what you do for your people.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. But my current thoughts on customer service is nowadays it generally sucks and it hurts my heart.
That's why I got the inspiration to do this show, because
I was wondering.
So, having a small business of my own,
right?
What I've learned is that a lot of customers think that old saying, the customer is always right. They think that means I can do whatever I want because I'm the customer. It's like, no, that's not what it means.
Exactly.
And so I noticed how I would get customers that were disrespectful, be disrespectful and rude. And what I started getting is just giving people their money back. And I would notice that because I had your money, you thought you could be disrespectful. And the minute I gave you a refund without you asking, you realize you no longer have power. And it's like, if you thought you had power for sending me $70, you had no respect for it.
That's what it is.
And then as soon as I say, here's your money back, they go, hey, why you give my money back? It's like, why do you want to talk now? Just 10 seconds ago, you were being disrespectful. Now you want to be polite. No, thank you. You can have your money back. And I no longer want you as a customer. Have a good day. Because I'm not arguing. So when I start seeing that with people, I was like, hey, there's a lot of fields that I've never worked in. Like you said, you've been in a leasing office, been a waiter, manager of a restaurant, different things. And I was like, wow. When I would tell somebody a story, they would just be laughing. And even when I think back on it, it's funny. They start thinking about all these different fields that people work in. It's like, it might be crazy what's happening. But when you really think back, it's like, this is a funny ass story. And so that's what made me go, I want to start telling these stories because one, I thought they were funny as hell. And two, I feel as though they could inspire people to look back. Sometimes people need to see someone else go through something and go,
Yes.
you know what? I was that asshole. That was me last summer at that restaurant. Oh, I'm sorry. Now the next time they go in there, think about how to talk to someone, how to treat somebody. So that's why I got the inspiration to do the show. And people always ask me, man, you should do a podcast. You're funny. And I just didn't want to do what everyone else was doing.
Right.
A lot of podcasts seem like it's just a bunch of gossip. Yeah, did you hear who such and such is dating? This person is sleeping with. Like, I don't care about that. I don't care who that basketball player got pregnant. I don't care.
Right. Yeah.
That's not what I want to do. That's not who I am. So I said, if I'm gonna do a podcast, let me do something that is me. And this is funny. This is entertaining. That's why I got the inspiration to do it. Here we go.
Good. Well, it's been fun. I enjoyed it for sure. Going back down memory lane, I'm sure I forgot more than I remember.
It's all good. We would love to have you back on when you remember some more. Because if you've been doing service that long, I'm sure you got 200 more stories. And trust me, we would love to have you back.
Okay. Well, you just please go to Waffle House and video it. Just please.
I'm going to make it my business I'm gonna go to eat at one at maybe like 4 or 5, no later than 6, 7 evening. But then I'm going to go and sit outside at 1 or 2. So somebody I know live in Virginia, North Carolina, Atlanta, somewhere. And I'm gonna go, hey, let's just go pull up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
You find you a college town, you find you a good night. It would be crazy. Yes. I'm gonna
do that.
All right, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yes, go Birds.
Go Birds. Check, please.